Hi everyone, this is Troy with Crown Silver Productions, and I'm going a bit more in-depth on the characters of my Marvel game and their place in my universe, or my version of the universe, and go over their abilities and what they can do in their playstyles. And for this week, I'm doing a whole bunch of characters that have something to do with Irish history and whatnot, and actually this is going to be a bit of a stretch, but to represent kind of the Irish American immigrants, I'm looking at Steve Rogers as Captain America, who is an Irish immigrant and fought along in World War II. Now, just going over his basic stuff, he is a biological assault character, which means he focuses more on the damage die and his own hit points. His stats are, for his armor class, we have 10, hit points 15, a speed of 6, which is about 35 feet per second, or 30 feet per second, around there. Uh, his melee damage, so punching or bashing people with his shield would do 1d8, but throwing it would actually do less at 1d6. And he has two abilities, the shield, which can absorb hits and redirect half their damage. So basically, when he does get hit, he can redirect half that damage back out. Which I actually took from the comics, because what a shield is made out of in there is a vibranium adamantium alloy. And what vibranium can do is that it pretty much stops all kinetic energy. And similar to Black Panther's suit, which has been upgraded, he helped Captain America upgrade his shield for the invaders. So he allowed the same process to, he can absorb hits through his shield and then just bounce them all right back out. And for a super soldier and focusing on his damage type, I'm giving him an ability that will double his damage. It's not too much of a, it's a pretty basic character. A bit on his lore, though. It's the same origin story. He signed up for the war for the World War II, and was put into a super soldier program, which gave him pretty much like beyond Olympic levels of human capability, including super strength, speed, agility, and whatnot. But after he came back from the ice, he saw that the world that he knew was once again in a huge war, the Infinite War. Which, quick recap of that, the Infinity Artifacts, which you can figure out later on in the week when I talk about the Infinite War game. But the Infinite Artifacts, he's trying to stop Thanos from getting all the artifacts to annihilate the universe. I'm not going to do the whole, he's trying to save half the universe bit, because I like him as a pure villain. I don't want him to have a huge, like, upside. I want him to be a villain. But Captain America had a disagreement with Tony Stark, Iron Man, on how to go about defeating this villain, because Iron Man thinks that we should stay back and fortify the Earth to make sure that we can stand up to this threat when it comes. When Captain America is just like, this threat is going to come no matter what. We might as well go and strike when it's down, or when it's weaker, and don't let it get stronger. So they had a falling out, and the Avengers are currently broken up into a few teams. There's Iron Man's team, which is the Iron Avengers. There's Thor's group, which are the Mystics. And then there's Cap's group, who is the Invaders. And the Invaders, I did get the name from a comic book way back when Captain America was first released. And it does include some original members of the team, including Bucky Barnes and Namor. But instead of them going over to Europe to fight, they got a spaceship from S.H.I.E.L.D., or a subsection of S.H.I.E.L.D. known as SWORD, which is basically S.H.I.E.L.D.'s offensive team. They're out in space and they're fighting aliens, which is pretty cool. But they got a ship from them and they're out trying to stop Infinity on an offensive front. He got this. He also did get this upgraded shield from Wakanda, as you can see here. And because he didn't spend too much time in the modern era outside of it, he sticks to his classic look. I don't like the big, like, flashy spandex costume wearing people. I do like what the MCU did with a militaristic look, but I took it one step back and gave him just straight up military gear with a t-shirt with almost logo. And I also like what they did in another comic, which I did for inspiration on the design. It's one of my favorite comics out there. It's called Grumpy Old Men. And it's Old Man Logan and Steve Rogers because when he went under, the aging process kind of stopped. And when he got out again, it sped up. So he's an old guy, but he can still kick ass. So that's why I gave him all white hair and beard. And that is pretty much all I have for Captain America. Yeah. Have a good one.